All right, you are on the platform, and I was really just sitting here pondering where to start this morning. Two issues I'm really interested in. One, I think that I will go with, and I ask you to bear with me because you're not going to read or get the angle on this story literally anywhere else in the news media in New Zealand. I know this is one story that the platform has a unique perspective on. And I ask you to bear with me as I explain this to you. You will read in the Herald, and I note in the Poster and stuff this morning, of what is being described by mainstream journalists as a takeover of NZME. That's New Zealand Media Enterprises, I think. NZME by a Canadian billionaire. And suddenly this is a big story. Well, I want to tell you the true story because that's what the platform was set up to do. And I'm going to realign some of the language that is being used by legacy journalists and explain why the real story itself is far more fascinating than the imagined and propagandized narrative that you will read in the mainstream. So what would my headline be? It would be owners of NZME, and that is the Herald, and their other big thing is ZB. Owners stick up for listeners and readers. And what is happening at NZME is a group of shareholders, including resident New Zealand billionaire, and that's not a crime, by the way, Jim Grennan, have issued notice that they are going to, and they have the numbers by my understanding, to remove the current board of NZME, which runs what is the country's largest independent media organisation, controlling half our radio stations and our largest surviving paper, and a bit online, though they don't have as many YouTube subscribers as we do. So it is not a billionaire taking over NZME. It is a group of shareholders so frustrated with the wokeness of parts of NZME and their willingness to not run ads and deny the company money because they politically don't agree with the ads, the woke, non-woke ads, they have launched a revolt to get rid entirely of the current board. I think I might keep one person. And that will result in massive changes in management. And I would imagine, pure speculation, those changes in management will lead to a change in editorial staff at the Herald in particular. And what would those changes likely mean? That Chanel Lal will never return as a columnist for the Herald. That I imagine people like David Fisher will not remain working. And the wokesters who have made the Herald a hotbed. Well, the Herald, remember when it published the kid on the quad bike, the cross-dressing kid on the quad bike? And the outrage, a story we brought to you and highlighted, and that was finally the Herald pulled its head in. You've got to remember the chair of the board of NZME, Barbara Chapman, is also the patron of Rainbow Tick. And that the company NZME as a structure is totally infected with DEI and wokeism. And all that is happening here, it's not illegal, it's not sinister, is that the owners of NZME have said enough. We own this company. We are the shareholders. We want it to make money by doing its job, not being a propagandized, government-backed woke fest. So massive change is coming. And what we will be left with is a stark choice between the wokesters at Stuff, and I see Sinead Boucher quoted this morning in Stuff saying, we've got these big delineations between not even acting in our own commercial interests because we're so pure. Rubbish, Sinead. You have changed the nature of the stuff so it propagandizes for a view of this country that is essentially dictated to you by the government. You do not allow debate. You turn off your comment section and you ignore ideas that do not fit with your worldview. So I think there is going to be blood on the editorial floor before long at the Herald. And you will read, and I know Willie Jackson's come out and said it's terrible. All the people who've been lying to you will tell you this is terrible. I think, and I would like, I guess, on a good day with the wind at my back, to think the platform and the issues we have highlighted by our very existence and by drawing you people together as an audience, maybe the wind is starting to turn media-wise. So I am hopeful long-term. I think in the short term, oh boy, there's going to be some fireworks. And legacy media and Media Watch at RNZ and stuff, they'll all rally together to try and save their woke buddies at the Herald. I don't think they're going to do it. And this isn't evil. This isn't billionaires and commercial interests taking over your news media. It wasn't your news media anymore. They'd turned off the comment section. It was the left-wing radicals news media, and I think it is a damn good job that the owners are taking their company back. And there is more hope under the new scenario that is playing out that we will have better coverage, more impartiality, and less bias in that part of our legacy media than we have had for a long time. Don't expect what I've said this morning, which I can guarantee is a more accurate and better informed observation of what is going on than you will read anywhere else. Don't expect this to get covered anywhere, but mark my words. The end is nigh for woke at the Herald. I imagine ZB, which, you know, as close as I can get, not as good as the platform, but Snooze Talk ZB probably has held the tide against super woke in that organisation. I wonder too, I must say, if its chief executive on $3 million a year, Michael Boggs, will the chief executive of NZME survive this? I don't think so. And all it is the people who own the company, not a single individual, not a Dr. Evil planning for world domination. The people who own the Herald have said, you have to start behaving more commercially and you have to get better at your job, because they, like you, have become increasingly frustrated with the partisan self-interest propagandizing of the people who, at the end of the day, journalists, the people who work for them.